It's basically like big kid Legos. Today we're in the back of our 2021 F-150 R&D truck. As you can see, the bedside is relatively empty. We're about to do the install guide on our bedside accessory rail, which is a new product from BuiltRight, but I thought I'd give you kind of the rundown on this. So if you've been following BuiltRight for a while, as you may know, this truck, the 2015 and newer F-150, is the very first one that we did the bedside MOLLE panels on. And those are still a super popular product. We started making these bedside racks as two separate panels in the F-Series truck, and we're getting a lot of feedback from customers and seeing how they're using those. And some customers have two different needs. One is that they'd like to bridge between the two panels, which is a separate thing that we're working on. The other is the desire to have something that is more similar to our bulkhead accessory rail, as we are always trying to kind of push and experiment with how people can organize their beds and mount gear. One of the things that we came up with was the bulkhead accessory rail. So that was a little bit of a departure from our traditional MOLLE panel, in that you can attach a MOLLE panel to it if that's the look that you want or the functionality that you want, but you can also use it to just attach gear directly to it. It's also a more sturdy tie-down point than just the steel panel. So that has really increased in popularity, and we've continued to refine that. And so kind of the next logical step was two different things. One is a larger panel system for the F-150 and the F-Series trucks, which is something that we are working on separate from this, which is the bedside accessory rail. So this is something I'm really excited about. This is a piece of the same engineering extrusion that's on the bulkhead rail. That's going to span front to rear on the bed sides of the F-150. So we are starting with Ford trucks, as we typically do. That's kind of where the business started. It's where we have the greatest number of customers to get quick feedback. We do anticipate this is something that will bleed into all of the other years, makes and models that we support. But essentially, it's two brackets, one bracket in each of the two BoxLink locations, and then this extrusion is spanning them. So the brackets, typically what we do is start with an idea, kind of back of the napkin kind of sketch, and then really quickly and crudely prototype something. So this is one of the early brackets I came up with. The idea was these little fingers would hold onto the rail to make it easy to install. And then this was the next iteration of that prototype, which was what we decided to do is easier from an installation perspective is to install the two brackets on the rail exactly where you want them and tighten them down, and then install this into the bedside. So we left these open and slotted so you can really easily set it onto two existing screws, and then you put the two top screws in to secure it in place. So again, we're about to do the install guide, so maybe I'll show you some clips of that. But that is basically it. So the result is that you have this really sturdy engineering extrusion running front to rear in the truck that you can attach a slider to, or a very large MOLLE panel to, or some tie downs. It's also a little bit of a DIY platform. So if you have experience with extrusion and this kind of stuff, and there are some other products that are manufactured using extrusion now, so people are becoming more familiar with it outside of like the engineering manufacturing world. There's some really interesting stuff. So like one of the things I'm interested in playing around with is, once I've got these two bedside rails on the bedsides, is using extrusion to span between them and having kind of a shelf, or you could have a shelf with a slider built into it. It's basically like big kid Legos. So again, it's one of those things where I'm excited to kind of create the platform and see how people use it. We will kind of do probably some videos and guides to see how we use it and kind of experiment and get the juices flowing there. But yeah, that's the BuiltRight Industries bedside accessory rail. Again, starting with the F-Series trucks, but you can expect to see this for the years, makes, and models that we support in the near future. All right, so this is a product that we're going to release officially on Black Friday. If you happen to be watching this video prior to Black Friday, check the link in the description for the product page and a little bit of a sneak peek. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, please send us an email, give us a call, comment on the video, and we'll do our best to get back to you. Thanks for watching.